Hey everybody. I'm think I'm on. This has been an adventure. I have to get back to the comments though. Okay. So uh hey Journey, hey Brian, hey Blake, thank you. I'm sorry y'all. I don't know why StreamYard doesn't like me lately. Hey Sharon, Aria. I'm going through here. Um thank y'all so much for being here. Journey. Um, I'm having problems with StreamYard. I don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna figure it out maybe tomorrow. um, so how are y'all? How's everybody doing tonight? Blakey, Journey, Aria. Hey Sharon. Oh, this is not gonna be long tonight. Okay, so it's not just me, Brian. Because literally, I think people are really thinking I'm just making excuses, and I have been sitting in here forever. Oh, Blake. Oh no, Aria. Y'all, everybody's had a rough day. Sharon, you're pretty good. Me, I'm exhausted, but that's okay. I'm that little nap that I caught after working 24 hours. I don't think was enough, and I'm freezing. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about StreamYard here. We're gonna have to figure this out because I've been sitting in here trying to get in here. Let's see, it's 9:41. I started trying to get in here at 9:20. So it's taking me 21 minutes to actually get on. I was just about ready to grab my iPad and go through or my phone and go through it. I was getting I was very aggravated. But I'm too tired to really stay aggravated. So and I'm not gonna we're not gonna have to stay long, guys. I had something that I've been wanting to talk about. Hey Gretchen, thank you. And it wasn't me. Ask Brian, Gretchen. Um StreamYard's having problems big time. So I literally have been sitting in here for 21 minutes trying to get in here. So thank y'all for being patient. I appreciate you very much. And mm, I am don't know how this works, but I'm going to attempt something. And that wasn't it. Okay. It right. Brian, that's how I feel. Because I mean, like, I cannot get it to and then actually when I come back on after leaving alive and then coming back on, my banners are gone, the logo's gone, my name's gone. I have to put everything back. And I used to didn't have to do that. Hey Jasmine, how are you? Okay, we're gonna talk about that, Jasmine. Definitely are gonna talk about that. Um and all everybody that's become a member, I appreciate it so very much. We're just doing our best to keep this channel going because we want to be here for y'all. We want to be here for us. We want to be here for everyone. And oh, hey, Gretchen, you're going to love this one. Don't laugh at my jogging pants if y'all see it because I'm tired. Look, wait, look. Yes, I'm cold. Me, 24/7. Hey, Violet. Uh, I'm cold tonight. Mm. I was like, okay, I have to at least change clothes. Yes, I am cold 24/7. But would you quit? It's not working. Marilyn told me a trick and I was trying to do it and it's not working. Thank you, Sharon. Uh, and really, I want to say, I mean, I'm truly thankful for y'all buying memberships. We're only, oh, Gretchen, I think I can make that happen, actually. um, we only have one tier. It's advocate. You're not. We don't say member because everybody here is a advocate for mental health, and so everyone that has got memberships, it's so much appreciated that I don't even know what to say because y'all have really supported this channel, and I really thank you for that. Oh, Abraham. So I'm I am literally doing something right now that I cannot find how Marilyn said to do it. And if she comes in here, I need her to tell me. I'm just gonna have to message her because I wanted to do it. Let's see. And I don't know if it will. But so yeah, this was actually gonna be really cool if but she said she found it by accident. Hey Stasia, how are you? Oh, you just got done with Marilyn? I need her to tell me her secret on how she does the membership thing. I can't find it. She said she found it by accident, though. Okay, let's see. I think I might can figure this out, and I probably should have done it while I was getting mad at StreamYard. And y'all, I'm sorry I have nobody back here, so just bear with me. I am going to do everything I can, but I'm actually right now trying to do something for all of y'all. We'll see if it works. Really? Okay. Oh no. I'm truly right now working on something for y'all. Okay. What does this mean? Okay, so it did work. There we go. Now I'll figure out how that Marilyn did the other later. Because y'all are so great to us, I wanted to say thank you. Hey, Sophia. And that was the best way I could say it. Y'all support us. You're here every day. You're here every time we're on. Hey, Amy. How are you? Just want to say thank you. Oh, you're very welcome. Very welcome, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Very much appreciate y'all. This channel means the world to me and Gretchen, or Gretchen and I, Gretchen and me, however you want to do it. Tonight I'm a little bit sleepy, so I'm not really worried about grammar. But y'all, it's because of y'all that keep showing up. You show up and you participate, and you let us know that that lets us know that you appreciate what we're doing. And I just wanted to say thank you. There's Red. Red, are you coming backstage? Yes, we will be together tomorrow, Gretchen. I'm so excited. Oh my God, that's going to be so much fun, y'all. Tomorrow, we don't know a time yet. It will be posted. Y'all cannot miss tomorrow. I'm telling you, you're going to have the greatest time. Red, are you coming back? Okay. Yep. Okay. Thank you. Y'all, it is going to be hilarious. Y'all are going to love it. Y'all are going to have a great time. Tomorrow is not going to be anything, but that's right. That's right. Friday fun day. And y'all, oh my gosh, you got to be here, y'all. That's all I'm going to say. You got to be here. You will love it. I don't know. Gretchen, do you know what time yet? I'm free all day. I just want to make sure that, a lot of people I know work. I just don't want to, I want to make sure y'all can be here because it's going to be so much fun. I think we're going to have to, Brian, you are welcome all the time. You know that. Jasmine, you are welcome all the time. I appreciate you. Like, y'all are just an amazing bunch of advocates. Okay, six your time, Gretchen. See, this is where I get messed up. We start talking about times and I'm like way off. I'm 2 hours. Okay, 6 your time's gonna be 8 my time, right? Is that right? Wait, no. Yeah. Oh yes, Amy. Laughter is gonna be it. Y'all are gonna okay, so 6 your time, 8 my time, correct? I want to make sure. Oh, 6 my time? Okay. Like 8 PM. Okay. Is there everybody be free about that? I just want to make sure because it'll be 9 for Eastern, 6 for Central. I mean, 6 for Pacific, 8 oh, 8 PM my time. So that'd be 6 PM your time. See, these time things got me messed up, y'all. And then it'll be 9 PM Blake's time. So 6, 8, 9. That'll be right. All right, got it. I got it. Yay. No sleep. Not enough sleep anyway. I voted today, y'all. I know we don't talk politics, but I'm going to talk this. It's your right to. Oh, Eastern is going to be 9, Stacia. Will you be able to make that? I just want to make sure everybody that is going to be able to make it because we're going to have so much fun. I'm going to probably be the laughing stock of YouTube, but it's going to be fun. So, yeah, Stacia, it'll be 9 your time. It'll be 9 Eastern. It will be fun, though. I promise y'all are not going to want to miss this. And so it'd be 5 AM for you, Sophia? You would want to wake you will be at work until 10? Oh, no. This would be something for y'all to literally Sophia, you're definitely gonna wanna, watch it. Even if on replay, y'all will laugh your butts off. We'll probably still be on stage if you can come on. Or, watch or listen. No, you gotta watch. So, okay, so, I've had this on my mind for a few days that I wanted to talk about, and Gretchen was so kind to send me some more information that I did not have. Um, so we're going to talk about triggers. Oh, you don't want to watch in your car station? Oh God, it's so funny. When I wanted to talk about triggers, and because we all have them in one way or another, and so let's just play a little game here because I'm tired and I can't think straight. So we'll play a game here. Can somebody Okay, class. No, I'm just kidding y'all. Somebody tell me what a trigger is. Like in therapy, a trigger. Because see, I had this whole other thought about it until I got into therapy and now I truly understand what a trigger is. I just want to get y'all to participate. Six Mountain Time, Jasmine. That's gonna be you'll be able to make that. We'll be on. Oh, there you go, Stasia. Yeah, something that brings back bad moments. Yeah, an action, word, or behavior that brings a person back to a traumatic experience. Okay, Mr. Smarty Pants. Hi. Triggers are often ways to protect ourselves. Good one. Yes, yes, yes. Sophia, I knew you were coming with it. A traumatic pain point. Absolutely, guys. Okay, so we're all on the same something that sets you off. Yes, absolutely that too. So I have all this nice stuff up here, that's got all these real big words. So I'm just gonna put it real simple for me. Um it's kind of like a strong emotion for me. I'm not gonna say trauma because it is trauma, but it could be a strong emotional response for me. Just bringing back, like y'all said, it brings back something, a flashback, PTSD, yeah, PTSD, anxiety disorder. Got both of them. Um, but it's something that makes you go back to that place instead of like staying in the moment. It brings all that back up into your present moment. So the first thing we want to know is how do you how do we how can we protect ourselves from these triggers and not let them control us? And I would say the first sign would be recognizing what our trigger is or triggers. I mean, it's multiple for me. I'm sure it is for everyone else. I mean, it can even be a sound, a smell, anything like that, just that can bring you back and past trauma. Um, and it literally can cause a visceral reaction like anxiety, panic, flashbacks, all this stuff anger is a big one, if you're still in that phase. And I was for a very long time. That's why I wanted to go over these. I was for a very long time. The anger was, I think the anger led me more than anything. Um, and they say, PTSD. Wait, let me see. Sophia, you can heal to a point where it doesn't affect you as badly. Correct. Correct. And EMDR did that. That helped a lot for me. Oh, Blake, you're already using words out of my next spreadsheet over here, my little things I got. Absolutely. Stasia, I have a friend who uses that as an excuse to get out of things she should do. That would be a trigger for me. Yeah. So, and your triggers, Blake, are passive aggressiveness, yelling, getting in my face, anger, and rejection mostly. I think rejection's a big one for both of us, Blake. For a lot of us, yes. Absolutely. And Stasia, that's horrible about, using it to get out of things she should do. I mean, we can't change a person, but what we can do is change our reaction to that person. Um, so if we can recognize the trigger, sometimes you can, sometimes you cannot. But if you can recognize the trigger, then the best thing, that's the first part. And why do you think you don't like me? I get frustrated to the point of exasperation, which turns to anger. Anger. That's it. I mean, it's anger, anger, anger. That seems to be the key point that I see that's going back to this on triggers. It's anger. Another friend is yelling because of PTSD. Yes. Um, oh, we're going to go into toxic traits here. Uh-oh. Toxic trait is actually a trigger prevention, but it usually ends up hurting other people, and I've been working on it for a long time. Blake, you're very wise. And yours is people pleasing and clinginess. I haven't been within the same area code of you, but what's real for you is real. What I see is not that, but that is, I mean, if that is what you're working on, what I see with you, Blake, because you are my friend and I know you outside of YouTube, is because I see that you're a very wise person. But we all have to go through what we have to work through. And yeah, I think you're doing absolutely amazing. Jasmine, Blake, rejection is also one of my triggers from old school kids. Yeah, that probably would be the start of a lot of people's trauma. School. you know? Thank you, Blake. Um, you know, we don't think about kids. We think about, oh, our traumas, our traumas, our traumas, you know. Well, we were kids mostly when this happened to us, correct? I mean, or younger. And when these things happen to us, where we're at now, we're we're all on the healing side of it, or attempting, or it's some part of trying to heal this. So think back, you know, these kids in school today. So 30 years from now, are they going to be sitting here doing the same thing we are, trying to heal from all of their rejection and all of their meanness and all their bullying? And, you know, I just, I'm sharing what, let's see. Yes, rejection does suck, Brian. I agree with you. Sharon, I don't know if I've ever identified mine. Some stuff happened to me when I was younger. I never had therapy and I probably need it now. Sharon, I will hold your hand when you go to that, because I was the same way until 2 years ago. It had been 40 years before I got therapy for it. So yeah, I totally understand. Um, baby vipers know they can spit venom, but what they don't know is how potent it can be or how to control it. Kids are the same. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I know, unfortunately. Another friend is being around people too long. Yesterday was a bad day for her, too many people. So stage, I've never had social anxiety a day in my life. Like, I've always been like the social butterfly, you know. Um, I'm literally on the board of directors for the Country Music Association. Like, I literally I mean, like, literally. And I haven't went to Nashville or Tennessee in going on 5 years now. That's not like me. So I knew something was wrong. Um, also got triggered because my friend in 6th grade told me, okay, so yeah, Jasmine, I'm going to tell you this. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here today, and I'm glad you're in here. Um, today's the 24th. So in a little more than a month will be um, a trigger for me. Just going to tell you now, my 13-year-old forever grandson um, took his, he's no longer with us because of bullies in school. So happens to, unfortunately, the most innocent ones. Um, that's a real thing. And they said, "Well, I don't know. Okay, do I look like? I mean, y'all don't. I know you don't know me, but I'm saying, do I look like somebody that's gonna like just throw my grandson around? You know?" And no, he was very loved, and he knew he was loved, but the anger and the visceral attacks on him, just like Jasmine saying, they're cruel. Kids can be so cruel. Brian, here's the fact that I'm stuck where I'm at the moment, and it doesn't seem like there's any end in sight. Okay, well, guess what? It may seem, and you said the key word there's, my friend, seem, because guess what? There's always hope. I don't know if you were in here the other day when we were talking about sad. Stay another day, and all the cliches that go with it. It's always darkest before the dawn and everything else. But guess what? We're going to make it. We've come this far. We can make it through the next thing. And then we can make it through the next thing. And then we can make it through the next thing. As long as we're holding on, making it, I think that, um, I don't have um, any biological children. I've never been able to have children, but it was I raised my ex-husband's kids their whole life. He had custody of all three of them, and I raised all three of them, and I have grandchildren, and they are, I mean, yeah, they're to me, they're real, always will be. And so yeah, November 29th is a pretty bad day for us. So, but I can't change it. So see, that's what I'm saying. I know that this is a trigger coming up. I can't change it. I can't go back. I don't even want to look back, you know? And thank you, y'all. I appreciate that, y'all. But I'm just like on the point of trigger. That's why I just want y'all to understand that I have to recognize that day is a trigger for me, and bullying is a trigger for me. I know this. I mean, I know. Thank you, Brian. It's like when you see that going on, you might think at the moment, oh, well, that kid could take care of themselves. I mean, kids are cruel. I've always said that. Like, I mean, I'm like, how are those kids so cruel? And because they don't know any better. They don't know. Sophia, and boys in particular have the problem with wanting to be tough while being very sensitive. So bullying hits them hard. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. My one grandson, his brother, his birthday is on the 28th of November, and Dylan said goodbye to us on the 29th of November. So yeah. But so we celebrate one birthday and then we celebrate an anniversary the next. And that's okay because it's the way it has. They're not exactly okay. 100%. Yes. I can't believe schools still haven't fixed the bullying problem after so many kids in their lives from it. How are adults running schools and it's still happening? That's my question. Because like I said, we didn't take my grandson knew he was loved. Dylan knew he was loved. He knew he could come to us with anything and everything. And he did. It's not like, I mean, it's not like he didn't. But you never know. Gretchen, what is Gretchen? I'm a therapist and have worked and trained in mental health for the past 20 years. 1 year ago, I had an incredible traumatic event happen, and since have experienced all the PTSD symptoms. Absolutely. That's exactly right. Yeah. Gretchen, and I'm so sorry about that. But y'all, Gretchen is going to do, I believe it's next week, if I'm not mistaken. Gretchen's going to be, she said she's not immune to trauma despite her work. And she's in therapy now. I've been in the mental health system working in it for over 20 years now. And the same goes for me. I have a therapist, you know? Everybody needs help at some point or another. Hey, George. Hi, honey. I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad you popped in to say hello. So nice to see you. Um, but yeah, I mean, even people that are in the mental health field are not immune to it. You know, that's right. Stasia, thank you. Oh, George, thank you. Stasia, you're absolutely correct. Oh, yeah, absolutely correct. And therapists are humans too. The job doesn't just take away their trauma. Otherwise, everyone would be therapists. Blake, oh, I love it. That would be a good one, Blake. I might have to put that on the fourth wall merch because I really like that. Like Mr. George here. All right. Thank you so much, George. I appreciate your support of our channel too, very much so. Sophia, because they're insecure and like a small dog that growl first. My bully was neglected at home and seriously hurting from it, and the school didn't realize the degree until I showed I'm the strong one. Okay, so there you go. Um, that makes me segue into what I wanted to say about that. Okay, so Sophia, yeah, absolutely right. Bullies, I don't like to use the word always or never because nothing is ever always or never. I mean, except for that. um, but I will say this. Hey, Diane, Marie says here. Hey, my friend. Thank you for coming. Uh, you always get me with the dead gum name, so I look down and see it's you. Marie said, thanks so much. Um, yeah. So what happens is that bullies are going to bully because they're normally, not always, but mostly, they are hurt. They have a very bad childhood. They've got trauma. Hurt people hurt people. You know, well, just think about this. You're a hurt kid. You don't know. You don't have the tools for that. You don't know what to do with that. If you have two working parents and you're just sitting at home after school and all you think about is, how hurt you are, well, you're going to go take it out on someone because you don't have any impulse control at that young of an age. Or you're supposed to have it, but let's just say that skipped you there for a little bit. But just depending on the age group, no impulse control, they don't know how you know, to control that emotion. And what are they going to do? They're so mad at their parents or their home life, or they've just gotten the hell beat out of them by their dad or their mom or whatever. So what they do, they go and they bully people that are always weaker than they are. Doesn't mean you're a weak person. It just like it could be physical, mentally, whatever the case may be, have more friends about it. But they're going to bully them. But I can promise that 9 out of 10 times, all you have to do is stand up to a bully and they will back down. I'm not saying this from a book. I'm not looking at anything, but you all, every single person, stand up to a bully and they will back down. Not always. I never say always or never. I'm just telling you. I got bullied a lot as a kid because kids being cruel, they get a rise out of me and they thought it was funny. It wasn't funny. No, it's not funny to you. It's not, Brian, and that's the problem. Kids are cruel. Later on in life, I confronted a few of them about it and they didn't even realize what they did. Right. That's what I'm saying. You don't have that impulse control. You don't have that that regulating your emotions. They're just not capable of it at some ages. And even as adults, it's the same thing. Uh, as adults, you have people that I'll use where I work. Let me just use where I work, okay? I see the older ones that are physically not capable of standing up for themselves or mentally not capable of standing up for themselves. Um, being bullied by the younger ones, and I work with all mental illness, so um, and you can catch them. You can catch them when you're not. They don't think you're looking, and they're bullying somebody. I think it's in every. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter what school. So or not in school. I think it's just a communal environment, and maybe this is the word I'm looking for here. You know, um, you're gonna have your strong ones, and you're gonna have your weak ones, and unfortunately, the weak ones mostly get bullied. Uh, Why do you think you like me? Honest question of self-reflection. Let's see. Would you consider me a bully? No, I do not consider you a bully. Absolutely do not. That's my honest opinion. I do not. Nope, a bully wouldn't have done what you so graciously did for me, and I really appreciate you. She started a nasty, insulting attack against teachers on a poster and bullied most students into signing it or signed for it, and my name was the only one that wasn't on it because I said it would. I said not happening. Oh, wow. Mm-mm. Sophia, she actually reached out later and apologized and thanked me for my kindness and for not kicking back when I should have and healed from the trauma. She's healed from the trauma now. See, do y'all see? Okay, so do you see the, hey, Indigo? Do y'all see the, I mean, we're all in here talking about it. Do you see what's going on here? Like the common denominator, it's hurt people hurt people. And even adults are bullies. I mean, as adults, we come across this every day in our life and don't even realize it half the time because of just pride and the just adulting. But we live in a society full of bullies. And George says, every bully I've ever come across has been a deeply insecure person. It changes the power dynamic when you realize that. Yes, it does. And that's what I say. All you have to do is stand up to that bully because you have you have to stand up to them because your self-worth is worth it. You are worth it. If you don't want to do it by yourself, I mean, I wouldn't blame you either, but have somebody with you, you doesn't have to be mean and ugly. It can be just very matter of fact. I do not give you permission to treat me that way, and I'm not going to allow it anymore, and draw your boundaries, and that's it. And that's, as adults, we don't, hopefully, we still don't, get in there and start beating each other up on the floor like, kids do. But as adults, we should be able to do, set our boundaries no matter what's across that line. It can be anything. But what that power, like George was saying, once that power dynamic changes, you're going to see them back down. And I mean, I've never, hey, Awakened. I've never seen, and I'm gonna say never, I've never seen it where it didn't work as an adult. I'm gonna say it, I've seen, unfortunately, children don't have that resolve, that strength yet. But as adults, we have the tools. We just have to think better of ourselves. And so if we walk, wait, what did X say? The corporate world rewards psychopathic bullying behavior that has to change. I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, it's like a feeding frenzy. Hey, Marie. It's like a feeding frenzy all the way to the top. Yeah, absolutely get that. Um, it's not who you step on, it's how many. So, okay, so let's get on the trigger. So if you've come across, now you've identified your trigger or triggers, and you know that you're not going to be able to avoid them. Okay, you're not going to be able to avoid them. What would be you've recognized it. Now, what would be I'm just asking, what would be your next step? What do you think would be the best for your next step, What would Sophia say? It's usually best not to react because it starves them of their fix and only calmly but assertively react when we absolutely have to. Okay, so on that one, Sophia, are you talking, I'm talking about just a bully. Not a narcissist or anything like that. Just somebody that's hurt. But I now see on that, I am going to stand up to a bully because I'm going to let them know that it's not okay to treat me like that. I have boundaries and that's not okay with me. Now, if it is somebody that I know has issues or maybe some narcissistic tendencies, somebody I know real well, yeah, I'm going to do exactly that. I'm not going to give them fuel to keep going. But there's a big difference in what, in being a in having those narcissistic tendencies, which you already know this. And then just being a bully, just being mean, just because they're, someone else is hurt also. Um, I was going to Well, Brian, that seems to be the norm lately. We don't interact with many, do we? Okay, so I'm going to try to bring this over. Present, share screen. I want this. No. Oh, that's what I need. No, it's not what I need. I don't know where there it is right there. Okay. Um, and I didn't blow it up first, so that's not going to be good. Let's see if I can get this blown up. I should have done that first. Yeah, it would be great if I could see. Really should have done this first. um, so let's go here. I don't know. I don't have my little. I can't see over here. There it is. I found it. If I wouldn't have had stuff covering it up. Let's get rid of this too. Okay. Now I actually can read that. Okay, so managing emotional triggers before they take over can be challenging. Wait, what is it, George? Okay. I gotta snap a picture of that. Just so I can go because I love books. Somebody mentioned a book in here the other day. How do I do that? How do I do it? 'Cause I can't see anything. I don't know how to do that. There it is. Okay. Are you leaving, Jasmine? You have a good night. Thank you. Got it. um, so yeah, how do I put that on dark mode? That would be great. Hey, Sophie. I'm glad you're here. Oh, yeah, I could have done that. Yeah, I should have done that. Actually, duh, I have my other phone over here. I have my phone actually opened. I could have done that too, but I got it. It's okay. Sophie, how are you? Okay, so the road less traveled. Oh, you've never read that? I've read that one. George, I've read that one. I like that one. Somebody said on here, and I'm trying to remember who was on here it's been a few weeks back out. And actually, I think it's when we were talking about the 4 agreements. And I think John may have been on here. Somebody said another book, and I wrote it down, and I cannot find it. And I want to find. I love having Sophie and Sophia both in here. I cannot find where I wrote that book down, and for some reason, it started with a B, and I'm thinking that y'all know how my brain is, but I'm thinking that it started with a B. And I don't remember what it was called, but somebody was like, that was one of the readings that someone said we were talking about the 4 agreements. I'm hoping Gretchen knows and can tell me. Okay, I'm sorry people, but I'm on a live. Um, sorry, guys. I don't like this at all. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yes. Bad sound. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely, Marie. It can be a sound, a smell. No, Buddha. I don't know. I don't know if that was it. It's just. It was just a. Is that a book, Indigo? Because I cannot remember what it was. We were talking about the four agreements, and then another book, and I cannot remember what that book was. That's because of my brain, but I really wanted to read that book. And now I wrote it somewhere here, somewhere. That's the vein of my existence somewhere. But anyway, so awareness is the key. So identify your triggers. We've been going through that. Awareness is the key. The first step is recognizing what situations, words, people, or memories trigger emotional responses in you. You have to leave like, okay, love you, Blake, and thank you so much. I appreciate you very, very much. I'll message you later. Go recover. Um, Keeping a journal can help you identify patterns and specific Hey, Mandy. Thank you. Thank you, Mandy. Can help you identify patterns and specific triggers. Smells are powerful, yes, very much so. Yeah, this one says like sounds, smells, even a thought, and I mean that's wild, but it's the truth. Blake, I hope you feel better. Practice mindfulness. Stay present. Because like I said a while ago, it we go back to that traumatic event. But if we can stay in the present moment and get, stay grounded, get us in our present moment, stay in, we're in this time, we're in this time, we're in this time. This is not happening to you again. You just keep telling yourself that, ground yourself. Do deep breathing, you can do meditating, you can do meditation, you can do grounding exercises. I mean, even 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or 3, 3, 3, anything like that to keep you in the present moment. Don't get lost in those past emotions because those are not going to, that's going to just make you spiral. You're just going to spiral, because triggers can be anything, like even a thought, and you don't know when it's going to hit your head. You don't know when you're going to think about something. But if you can just pause and then try to stay in the present moment. Observe without reacting. When you notice a trigger, try to observe your thoughts and feelings without immediately reacting to them. This creates space between the trigger and your response. And we may not can control that trigger, but we can control our response. That's, in our little circle of control, things that we can control. You can use cognitive behavioral therapies. Hey, Allie. And reframe your negative thoughts with that. When you feel triggered, challenge any irrational or automatic thoughts. For example, ask yourself if your thoughts are based on facts or assumptions, or you can do thought stopping. Imagine a stop sign. And I had my stop sign, but I don't know where it went on here, so I'm not going to look for it. I got 3 screens, and I don't feel like digging. I always hope, imagine a stop sign in your mind and say stop out loud to interrupt a negative pattern. So when you know that you're being triggered, first of all, you need to get you some space between you and that trigger. Just ground yourself, even if you think of a stop sign, and just spell it, say it, spell it, say it until those negative thoughts, you break that pattern and you can remove yourself from that or whatever you have to do. But yes, thought stopping. That is one thing that I do. I can fidgets. Yes, Mandy. Yes, fidgets. Anything to break that, or start doing like they said, like Ben says, he says, start doing math. Start doing math in your head, hard math. And that anything to stop to interrupt that flow of those negative thoughts. Develop coping strategies, which was what we were talking about now. Create a plan. When you know what triggers you plan ahead. Decide how you will respond differently the next time the situation occurs. Art of distraction, Sophie writes. Yeah. This might include taking a break, breathing deeply, which, I do mindfulness a whole lot, or repeating affirmations. That doesn't necessarily work for me. It may work for some others, but for me, it doesn't work. What does work is the breathing and the grounding. I can't my problem with the fidgets is because my ADHD, if I hear it, it's over with. I'm either gonna break it or I'm gonna tell them to leave or I'm gonna leave, and that makes it even worse for my anxiety. I understand fidgets are self-soothing and I would never disrespect anybody like that, but I myself would have to get up and leave because I cannot handle hearing somebody jingle keys or have change in their pockets or uh, clicking a pin, it's over with. I'm exiting the area, and my employees better not walk in my office doing that. That's just the plain and simple. If you want me to keep my sanity, that don't come here. I just learned about earthing from my therapist, Mandy. I just did, like, as in was today Earth? Okay, so that was yesterday. Yes. Okay, yeah, without the noise would be fine. It's the noise that gets my anxiety, I feel it creeping from my stomach all the way up, and that's a trigger. I know it is, so stay away from them. Anybody they got one chance, come in my office flipping keys or jingling change in their pocket and I understand that some people, that's what soothes them and keeps them from or their nervousness, but my anxiety, and I got some boundaries here. I'm not going to allow to be crossed, and I'm not going to let you throw me into a state of an anxiety attack. But the earthing I just learned about, and I actually was telling Gretchen about it. I think it was maybe my Sunday session when I was seeing my therapist. Yeah. And I really had no idea about it. Walking out you walk out into the outside barefoot, connect with the earth, lay down in a field, put just thank you, Mandy. Thank you. Yeah, my therapist just told me about it. You have to she said you don't have to go hug a tree literally, but if you could go outside, you could touch the trees, touch the earth, walk barefoot, let your feet touch the grass, plant in the garden. I had no idea. Y'all, I work in mental health, but I'm always inside dealing with and putting out the next fire because that's what it takes to run a company. I You love hugging trees, Sophie. Yeah, I did too until ants went down my shirt. That was my last tree hugging experience. So I used to love climbing trees. Um, but I learned about earthing, and I'm still reading and but I really like that. I really like that. And I just learned about it Sunday, so that's something fairly very, very new to me though. Okay, so distraction. Yes, like I think Sophia or Sophia said earlier, shifting your or Sophie shifting your focus to something else. Music, a task, a conversation can help reduce the intensity of emotional triggers. You still climbing trees sometimes. Yeah, I like to do that. Okay, so Gretchen and I had a live on emotional regulation, and this is where like it all kind of comes together here. Learn to manage and process emotions by practicing techniques such as progressive muscle relaxation, self-soothing, or expressing emotions through journaling, art, or talking to a trusted person. Delay your reaction. Give yourself time to cool down before responding emotionally. Even stepping away for 5 minutes can help reset your emotional state. Do y'all remember what we learned whenever we were talking about this with Gretchen? The stop. Stop, take a step back, uh, observe the situation, and then proceed. That was the stop. And, yeah, I count to 10 literally before responding. If it's gonna be an emotional response, I'm gonna count to 10, and if I don't feel like my heart rate's come down any, I'm gonna go from 10 back down to 0, like when I had surgery. They told me to count backwards, and I got to 0, and I'm like, "And what am I supposed to do now?" True story in January. They I saw both of them looking at each other going, okay, well, you can start over again." I didn't make it past 8 that time, but I made it all the way to 0 the last time. I mean, the first time. That's when I found out that redheads are harder to put to sleep under anesthesia. Um, okay, so self-compassion. This is the biggest one that I want everybody to listen to, please. Be kind to yourself. You're worth it. When a trigger happens, remind yourself it's okay to have emotions, and you're not defined by your emotions or your reactions. Self-compassion can make it easier to manage emotional triggers and recover from them faster. If you're just putting all this negative on you, and you're so hard on yourself, don't be. You're not defined by that. You're not defined. You are you. You're allowed to have emotions. You may have to seek professional help, therapy, if triggers are deeply rooted in past trauma, like my CPTSD. Yes, it was definitely traumatic experience. Um, Trauma focused CBT. I did CBT. I've done DBT. I've done EMDR. The EMDR helped me a lot. I've actually literally turned some of those inner. Okay, so the word I think the hardest thing that I've done in therapy so far is um having to identify negative. I had to identify 6 negative core beliefs, and I'm like, well, then I'm identifying what's being me, and this is not me. I mean, right? Don't be hard on yourself, and there's no shame in being human. So here's my issue. I clear these memories, these negative or these you know, negative core beliefs. Am I real I went down that road. Am I really clearing negative core beliefs, or am I changing who I am to fit what society thinks I should be? I have a problem with that only because um I've always been told my entire life, do you need to act this way. You need to act that way. You need to do this. You need to do that. I mean, at 40 years old, I was still, you know, you can't act like that in front of this person. And I always just went right back in that zone of listening to my song over and over from Three Doors Down, Let Me Be Myself. I have heard that song until I could tell you every word of it. I probably literally heard it a million times because that's the only thing I could relate with. And for the last fixing to be 7 years, I've been able to be myself. I don't he doesn't try to parents, I guess, I mean, I'm the oldest. Then we're gonna have Psych on the Rocks on with me soon. We've got some stuff that we're planning, that's really, really important information. But, uh, your parents expect you to be one way. This is not everybody's situation. Your parents or your mom or your dad or your grandparents, whatever the case may be. They want you to be one way. They groom you to be this way. You're the most upstanding citizen. You're the greatest kid. You do everything you're told. You make straight A's. You graduate top of your class from high school. You on the dance team all 4 years. You're captain. You're on, you're in college. Let me just tell you this. It happens. And then you're in college and you're still wanting to know, you're still so hard on yourself to make those perfect grades. And then at 38 years old, you decide to go to law school. And yeah, I'm talking about myself in third person. um, and if I got a 99 on the paper, I rewrote the whole paper until I got 100. That was at 38 years old. That was 20 years after I graduated. I was still only wanting to hear acceptance from someone I was never going to get it from. Or not acceptance, but good job. Or, just one time a good job would have been great. Never happened. And my sister, she was like, stop searching for something you know you're never going to get. Just be yourself. Well, who was this self? I don't know that I don't know who I am. Hey, Karma Charms kittens. Oh, okay. Wait. I seldom comment, but want to share that when I'm in fight flight mode, I channel my inner deer. I step away and shake my entire body to help release trapped negative energy. That is great advice. Thank you for that. That is actually great advice. And Sophie, you've been to that too? Yeah. I didn't know who I was, you know? Karma, thank you for coming on and saying that. I mean, thank you for just commenting. I appreciate that because you're gonna see me. If you ever see me, I'll probably be doing the same thing now because I take every bit of advice I can get to make myself better. If I can improve the parts of me that need to be improved, not change them. And I have learned that difference. What I want to improve for myself and what I want to change. If it's changing to please someone else, I'm over that. I am 50 damn years old and I won't do it anymore. Thank you, Karma. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Um, I'm just Sophie, you're so smart. You're right. That's exactly right. We're all going to continue to do this stuff. I mean, we're changing. The only constant is change in life. That's it. The only constant is change. So we're going to have to get used to that and we're going to have to just roll with it. But as we change and things change around us, I mean, I didn't know I was going to be living through this many historical events. But guess what? Here we go again. I mean, it's just like one day. So it's always happening. It's always a change. We have to learn to not be so much held back from that, but to just go with it. The world around us is going to be constantly changing. If we fight that, we're just going to be miserable people. We have to learn how to go and function. And for a lot of people, it's really hard after a pandemic. That's where all my social anxiety came from. Before that, I was out in the middle of, downtown Broadway in Nashville all the time with thousands of people. Never bothered me a bit. Now I've been to 2 concerts in the last 5 years. And I panicked at both of them, although I didn't leave because they're some of my favorite people, but I still it's just I just don't I just I don't know. Brian, thank you. We'll, we'll talk tomorrow, Brian. I'm off tomorrow, so we'll talk tomorrow. Um, I appreciate you being here, Brian. So, so what I've done, um, I'm gonna let me get through this and then I'll let you. Okay, so um, by building your emotional resilience and practicing these strategies, you can better manage emotional triggers and prevent them from overwhelming you. So that's true. Um, and And I sure wish Gretchen was on here because she sent me some fabulous material here. Uh, so, and just what we're talking about, identifying the triggers. Um, so what if you can't escape that trigger? Okay, you will. Thank you, Gretchen. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. Yeah, she's got some very, very good information. She emailed it to me, but like, there's nothing like the one that sends it to you that can actually tell it. But I will. Yes, I will. Um, s- let me get her the link, guys. Uh, oh crap. Let me hang on. Hey Marilyn. Hey Mama Marilyn, Mama Bear. I was just talking about you too. And see now my brain, I said I hope she comes in here because I needed to ask you. I cannot figure out the gifting thing. Like you said, I did find I mean I personally gifted some gifts, but I mean I can't find the one that you were talking about. Okay, here's the link. Mhm. Okay, here we go. All right, there you go. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Gretchen, that's the wrong one. I just put you back in there. That's the wrong one. I'm sorry. I gotta grab this one. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Let me get her the link here. I gotta get to StreamYard and text this to her. Now I'll give her the right one. Okay. StreamYard. That's the one she needs. All right, Gretchen. It's on its way. Okay. But so I will tell you while Gretchen's coming in, and I know there's still some questions, but I was gonna when Gretchen gets in, I'll and Red's still starting questions, so she'll be able to pull up the stuff on here. But um, so if you get yourself caught in a place where you've identified your trigger and you know you can't escape, you can't run, you can't hide, you can't leave, I mean, you literally, I mean, it can be a smell, like we all talked about, smell, taste, memory, thought, whatever. But guess what? What if it's a person? And I know you've probably heard me tell them this story before. I guess it's just part of my talking through things. But in April, I was made to be in the same room for the first time in um let's see, 50. Come on, come on, math. I'm so tired, y'all. I worked 24 hours. Please remember that. Okay, so from 14 to 50. That would probably be 36 years, if I'm right. Um, I hadn't seen this person, had no desire to see this person. Pretty much not gotten over it, but kinda got through it, and I was made to be in the same room with this monster, and, I'm glad I did. I don't believe in coincidences. I was right, yay. I don't believe in coincidences. I believe in things happen for a reason, because now I'm sitting here saying, "Me too, Stacia, but not just after I've been up so long." I'm too old for that anymore. I used to could work 72 hours on an ambulance and still go, "Not anymore." Um, but I saw what I saw when I was scared, and I had Daryl, and I was holding on to him, and I was just like, I don't even wanna be there. I was shaking the entire time, but it was for my sister's wedding, and I was gonna go, and well, I really didn't have an option to go. Guilt's the most useless emotion. Don't try the passive aggressive crap on me, and just tell me you want me to be there, and I'll be there. But I was getting guilted by everybody because they knew I wasn't going to be there. But I did go, and yeah, I'm going to tell y'all right now. I'm glad I went. I am so glad I went. Now the way it happened, no, I'm not happy about that. But after I walked out of that room, out of that building, that was no more of a monster to me anymore. He was a frail old man that could never hurt me again. And sometimes I think that's karma letting you have a front seat to some things, because there's no damn way he could ever. eh, Guilt is a useless emotion for me. There's nothing I mean, that sounds so horrible. I hope you feel better, Miss Sunrise Dawn. I love you. I hope you're okay. Thank you for stopping by. Right, Sophia? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I don't necessarily think I processed it because I never got, and I guess you don't have to get a result to process it. I don't know. I was always told to compartmentalize everything, and I did. Um, but yes, they are the sad creatures because I no longer saw. Okay, Miss Sunrise Dawn, I understand. I'm glad you're feeling better though. And I, I literally, you build up in your mind as a child, like if we seen a movie or something, y'all know, like, or I don't know, the monster under your bed, you know. Okay, Marie, thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. Um, so, like we could sit there thinking about when we were children, the the monsters under our bed. Oh my gosh, sure. I mean, even as adults, if we're going out into the woods and it's dark, I always say I don't mind the dark. I just don't like what's in the dark. you know. I mean, but yes, it's exactly right, Sophia. It's taking their power away. I didn't let him control my life at all. But I mean, I got over that. It took me years. Not necessarily get through. But take a flashlight. Oh my god, that's gotta be the freaking comment of the night right there, Sophia. Holy crap. That was perfect. Let me wait on see Gretchen here. Wait on her. But yes, I all I saw, Sharon, was a frail old man that could never do what he did to me as a child. And I own that now. I took back my power. And I have nothing to feel sorry for or be sorry for because I know it was not my fault. I was a child. So the cult that I was raised in can, and Marilyn knows because we come from the same place, you know, they can kiss it too because I took my power back. And pretty much these days, I've taken my power back from just about everybody that I've given it to. Here, are you ready? There we go.
Hi.
Hey,
It's been a long time,
I know. I know.
huh? I'm wearing my YouTube red, I guess, today.
I'm wearing my I'm told 24/7.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just want to jump on. I wasn't planning to. I was going to be in the chat. That's my comfort zone right now, being in the chat and
Yeah.
kind of doing that thing. But
You look so
so
cute. You look
thank
so
you.
cute. Oh,
Um, and you always look cute, Keela. You know that.
filter.
I didn't put a filter. Uh-oh. Maybe I should. Um, but
Thank
yeah,
you,
I guess
Marilyn. Marilyn.
what does Marilyn say? Oh, thanks. Oh, by the way, Marilyn, speaking of, since I have it right here, I want to show you something very exciting. Well, and for the other crafty people in the chat. Um, this is my current I'm trying to finish it.
What?
I do it on this loom for people that I'm making a
Oh,
huge
wow.
scarf. It's with some nice like wool. If you can see, it's like this cool like kind of purpley green,
I like that purple.
and it's really long, so you can wrap it like a few times around, and I'm gonna do more of it. But yeah, I do it on this thing. I just
Ah.
wrap the pegs and I do it. So that's one of my ways of coping at night,
Oh,
especially.
wow.
I just do this thing and I
Oh, look, yes, ma'am, I love that. I know I
thank
love
you.
that color pattern
It's like
too.
also it's like a seed stitch. She probably knows what that is. I think
I like that.
oh, do you knit? You just crochet, Marilyn? I don't remember. I know you crochet, but
Yeah,
anyway.
I don't think she knits. I think she crochets. Barbara, I love you. Thank you for being in here.
Hi, Barbara. So we're talking about triggers. Is there anything in particular, Keela, you wanted to talk about or wanted me to talk about?
Yeah, the reason I wanted to see if you would talk about so I know how I did it, but I'm not going to be able to, like, I'm not qualified. And you're not lame, Marilyn.
I can't crochet, Marilyn, so we're um
So coming face to face with like okay, so I know what my triggers are, but you don't have a choice. Like it just happens at the grocery store. Or it happens, and
mhm.
it'd be not necessarily. I mean, it don't have to be a thought. It could be the person, and you just freeze. That's something that I'm still probably gonna have a hard time with for a while.
So it's like, is it the actual trigger itself or is it reminders of like, so sometimes what happens with triggers is we might have a specific trigger that we can be aware of, right? Like a
Hmm.
place, a person, a
Hmm.
situation that we know of. And then some at other times it could be something that we don't all of a sudden we become aware of. So for instance, let's say there was abuse by a man with a deep voice, and that person is a
Hmm.
trigger, but then it gets generalized to other men that have deep voices. It's kind of like
Right.
it brings up something not as intense as that actual person, but it can be generalized. So are you talking about sometimes triggers that we know of, or the things that we might not be in our awareness?
I guess that would probably be not in our awareness then, because it wouldn't necessarily be that person. It's just going to be, yeah, th- unexpected that I didn't know that would be a trigger for me. It just comes
Mhm.
up. That's when you're caught in that space of not being able to actually control your emotions to step back and breathe. I believe like the first time it happens and you're not aware that that was a trigger.
Yeah. So
I think
for the
that's when I
things,
do my most emotional thinking and my emotional reacting there when it's a first time trigger, maybe. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think bringing that awareness of just like something is going on, right? Something is going
Yeah.
on within you. So whether it's the physical symptoms of like getting sweaty, heart
Mhm.
racing, feeling like all of a sudden frozen, not being able to think clearly, stuck in your tracks, like not
Yes.
knowing what to do next. Whatever those symptoms are that you recognize, like I'm in a freeze mode. Um, One, if there's people around you, like a support, like a
Mhm.
spouse, partner, friend that knows about that, like
Mhm.
is aware that you have sometimes can freeze up if you're triggered. that's always good because they can kind of help you through because sometimes we're unable to kind of snap our, like depending
Mhm.
on how bad it is. Um, Another thing that I might suggest in terms of coping is just um, stepping away from, like, you might not even be aware. Let's say I come into this room and something's startling to me, like I feel that, and I don't know
Mhm.
what it is about this room, but I might just change my surroundings. Like I might step outside. Like I've had someone mentioned, I think earlier in the discussion about panic or anxiety attacks. I've experienced those too. And I didn't know what was particularly triggering them, but I was like in a crowded restaurant and I wasn't getting like nervous or anything about restaurants
Mhm.
before, but I thought something is going on. Maybe it just came on. So I just decided I'm just going to step outside, sit on a bench outside the restaurant for like 5-10 minutes, do some breathing. Like,
Mhm.
'cause I didn't know what was going on and I didn't know like until I kind of got my bearings a little bit better. And then, I could kind of step back and see if, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
if it was okay or if I needed to do something more.
The
Um,
first time that happened was when, like I said, I was at Walmart. I never had a problem going to Walmart before, but
mhm,
I was so thankful that that baby owl the baby owl was right there because it's the only thing I could get to where nobody was so I could breathe, and I left everything sitting right there and left, like, after I could finally walk. That was the first time I'd ever had, like that in public.
mhm.
I didn't want it to define me, but unfortunately, I allowed that to control my life for a long time now, and that's not me. It's not the person that, everybody wanted me to be. That's not me. I know who I am. I'm
Right.
learning myself every day now, and that is something that I absolutely love to do. And now I don't like to do that anymore. I don't want to be in public. I don't want to be with a bunch of people. I don't, and that's not me.
Because you're having what we call, is it anticipatory anxiety?
I think so.
Like you're having
Honestly, I think so.
anxiety about having
Yep.
anxiety, so you
Yep.
avoid.
And then you're in this roller coaster. I mean, this merry-go-round, and unless you stop that merry-go-round, it's just gonna keep going.
And what happens when you avoid, because I always say anxiety and avoidance are like best friends,
Mhm.
is you have to approach the situation. That's the only way to really overcome anxiety, fortunately and unfortunately, I guess. So, because what that provides a person, yourself, myself, whoever, is like an opportunity to have a corrective experience. So if we stay put and we're like, okay, we're going to avoid whatever that trigger is, whatever that thing is that's causing us the anxiety or the triggering for whatever, we can kind of just stay in our mind. See, I avoided it and I'm okay, I'm calm now. But there's an opportunity when you approach the situation or that trigger to say, okay, I can have a plan. If I know that it's going to
Mhm.
be triggering for me, being proactive and thinking about like who's there to be there for support, what can I do? I always say it's good to have some kind of exit plan. And what I mean by that is if someone has social anxiety and they go to like a party, go or to get together, go for like 5-10 minutes and then have a way that you can kind of just get a breather. Like, oh, I forgot
Mhm.
something in my car. I have to go and get something from my car. Or
Yes.
oh, I'm gonna go to the restroom. Or I gotta make a phone call here. Someone just called me. I gotta so that you have some kind of break in it and then you can kind of reassess how you're doing. So that's also important because then if we don't like the all or nothing thinking that we've talked about before, it's like we don't think
Yes.
about we either have to do this and go full force or
Right.
we don't do it at all,
We don't do it at
right?
all. Yeah, so
And
then and there's that gray area we should be able to live in.
right, right. And what way can we make it so that like especially with anxiety, it's what's inside your control versus what's outside your control. With
Right.
anxiety, you feel like you're spinning out of control. So
Yes.
what can you feel like that you can do to really assert more control over the situation? And I mean, it's okay, and you don't really people don't necessarily have to know. You don't have to tell people ahead of time, "I'm having anxiety," just but you can have ways that are more, like, socially acceptable to deal with it, and then get away from it, and then come back so that you can kinda gauge and be in control of that.
I always have to,
Hey,
I
Nina.
always have to, let's see, I've got really good at I gotta go call work and check in.
Mhm.
you know? I've gotten really good at, no, I'm going to make myself stay 5 more minutes and
Mhm.
see if this passes. So I've done it both ways. I've left and then I've made myself stay,
Yeah,
trying to, I've tried both ways, and it is, I mean, whatever is happening at the time happens. Either I'm going to end up staying or I'm going to end up leaving. I mean, we'll just say like that's at the baby shower, for the grandbaby. Um,
yeah,
there's a lot of people I had no idea who they were. I mean, they're not, they were her family, and it was so bad
right.
that I sat on the couch, on the edge of the couch, and I just sat there. Daryl wasn't there; he was at work.
Mhm.
I was at his ex-wife's house, so I've already. But I mean, it's not like that though. I mean, I love her to death. She's raised 2 beautiful children, that she lets me be a part of their life, and I'm very thankful for. So,
But I
you
agree
know
with you. There are times when you don't necessarily have correct experience. You have experiences that like, okay, I thought it was gonna be kind of awkward and I'd feel kind of out of place, and that's actually exactly what happened.
that's
I
probably
had
what
that
happened.
yeah, I had that experience recently where, like that exact situation happened where I was going to a
Mhm.
social event. I really was kind of avoiding it, and then I showed up and it was kind of as awkward as I thought it was because I didn't know many people, and it was like but I knew a few people, so I talked to them, and then, you know, I had a set time that I thought, "Okay, I'm gonna leave after this time," and then I did.
Mhm.
So but I still felt okay about going because I felt good about showing up, but it wasn't
Yeah.
so sometimes those are we have to take that in stride too.
And that's like what my therapist said. What did you call it? What what did you call it? I can't, my
Corrective
brain,
experience? That one?
about going to the store, like just driving in the store, desensit what was it?
Desensitization, you're saying? Or
Is that what happened when she would make me drive to the store and then I didn't have to get
yes.
out? Yes.
It's called
And then eventually, or
systematic desensitization is the term.
okay,
Yeah.
so that's what to for me to go into a store, that's what it took, and it took weeks and months. Like, I would drive to the store, I wouldn't get out, then I would just park there. First, I just had to drive there, then I had to park, then I had to open the door, then I had to touch my foot to the floor, to the ground. I mean, just small baby steps, but now I can go in a store again.
Yeah. Which is huge, right? I mean,
It's very huge. Yes.
and I work a lot with people with medical trauma, because I work a lot with people that have chronic illness, chronic pain issues, and there's a
Yes.
from just having more interaction with the medical providers, and they've had different things go on or just different interactions with medical providers. Anyway, and we'll talk a lot about being proactive and planning for and I've used actually systematic desensitization with people that are really anxious about like going back. They have to go back to a certain hospital that they had some
Mhm.
trauma at, um, and like looking at pictures online of the outside of the hospital, going like you're saying, just taking it step by step and practicing coping skills. And ideally the therapist would be right there with you doing it, but that's
Mhm.
obviously not always feasible. So I often say, like, who's someone you can trust that can walk you through it and help you, like a sibling or, a friend,
Yeah.
partner. So that oftentimes very much helps. And then those statements of like safety, I'm safe, I'm okay,
Mhm.
works for both trauma and anxiety. It's like just
Yes.
reassurance.
I do a lot of that breathing. I do a lot of breathing.
Hmm.
And when my nose is stopped up like it is right now because I was so tired, I don't like that because I can't do my breathing. I have to do it out of my mouth, and that don't help. Not as much.
Yeah.
No, I was just the stuff that you had sent me online. I thought, I mean, it's pretty amazing. I
Yeah.
beat
And
my little sheet.
well, and it's just about, right? I mean, I think it's for some of this, it's about trial and error. It's like you can have that's why it's so important to have so many tools in your toolbox because it's like
Mhm.
I always say to people that I work with, it's sometimes something might work for a while, just like medications. I mean, sometimes,
Oh yeah,
you might have a coping tool that works for a long time and then all of a sudden it doesn't. And you're like, oh, okay, well, let me switch this up. Now let me try this one, or it's for some reason it works as well. So
right.
it just, one of those things. But having support, I think even just what we're doing tonight is just people sharing what their experience is, and I think there's some value in just getting it off your
Yes.
chest and just telling your truth,
That
whether it's in a
exactly.
therapy session or in a
Mhm.
chat on YouTube,
Exactly.
something very healing about that, I hope, for folks that
Yeah,
are sharing.
and especially at Karma with I mean, that was, like, amazing.
Yeah,
I really like that. Mhm.
yeah, because I mean, you and I both feel it's like just, I think, like I said, what was it, yesterday or something, like healing through connection and support. I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of, it's like when you feel like you're not alone, like, I've been more vocal about some of my struggles, and I'm a therapist, and that's kind of, um, not that it's stigmatizing, but it just, I know that there are a lot of us out there that also do therapy.
Yeah, I have to
Um,
do therapy every day.
mhm.
I mean, if literally, sometimes I have to call her every day. Sometimes I don't wanna even do it but once a week, but it's what I feel like I can do that week, or maybe it's so
Yeah.
bad. Maybe look, my mindfulness is coming on my watch. It
And I always
reminds
say,
me.
yeah, and sometimes, like you said about breathing and other things, we just have to know ourselves and know when some of those things
Mhm.
will be, um, okay. Like, I always say, like, when you're in the heat of the moment, like if you're in an argument with a spouse or a person in your life and things are you're getting really angry and heated, then that's not the time to try to do problem solving, conflict resolution. You need to step
No.
away and calm down, then go back
I
to
like
it.
to stop. Stop,
Yeah.
take a step back, assess, or wait, was observe the situation, and then proceed.
And the same thing with like anxiety or when you're getting triggered. It's like sometimes when you're heightened to that level, you can't challenge negative thinking, right? It's like you
No,
have to
you
calm
cannot.
down that nervous system before some of that stuff can take hold and really work well.
I like how Ben said start doing hard math to break that cycle. Like, start doing hard division and your stuff like that. Just something to get to break that.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I really liked that.
Well, and it's also like that from dialectical behavior therapy, right? There's the
Mhm.
emotional mind over here,
Yep, and
the
your
the
analytic.
logical mind over here,
Yep,
and the
analytical mind.
intersection of the two is a wise mind. So it's like those 2 things are really necessary in our life, but when one is
Yes.
really heightened, that's probably, yeah, part of that too, is like, let's get switched over to the logical mind and do some
Yeah.
math, right?
Let's do some
Some
math.
calculation.
Hey.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of questions. Red, can you bring them up, or do I have to bring them up? I don't know if she can do it or if I have to do it. Oh, she's got it. There she goes.
So Sophia says, "It's the reason I love walking barefoot, particularly in North Sea mud. I just prefer to do outside of mosquito season." Sure. That makes
That
sense.
earthing. So, yeah, Mandy had come in and said about earthing, and she gave a lot of good links.
Mhm.
And I told him
Yeah.
I just called you about that. I was like, I just called Gretchen. I found out about it.
I didn't, for some reason, it didn't ring a bell when you said earthing, but grounding I've heard more
Yeah.
frequently, or just connecting, like taking off your shoes, stepping in the grass, stepping on the earth,
Yeah.
gardening,
Yep.
even just like someone said, or you said, touching water,
Yeah.
being
Just
around,
earth.
yeah, even laying on the grass and looking up at the sky, whatever that looks like.
Hmm.
Philosophy. Oh my OMG, I was so triggered the other day by someone saying horrible things about me on YouTube until I spoke to some people that made me feel better, but I see him, I'm filling with hate. Um, I'm not sure what you're referring to, but I'm glad that you're able to get some support. That's important. Very important. And we
Sophie.
know YouTube can be a hard place
Yeah, hard.
sometimes.
It's so hard. But Sophie, you're so smart. I love you, girl.
Stasia
Same.
Flores. I realize I'm a nonconformist. I have to do my own thing. I'm not like other people, and that's great. I mean, that's fine. I love that.
I do too.
Yeah,
I
that's
wish I could
I
have had that. Mm.
yeah. I was just talking to my son earlier about like that there's all different types of people need to make the world go round, and
Exactly.
that's what's beautiful. Sophia, I always look at two sides of a coin. It's a trait and a choice how to live with it. Energy can be anger, reacting to something that's unfair, propelling you forward to bettering it. Yeah, and I was reading, I think it was my book, It's Okay That You're Not Okay, about grief and loss. It
Hmm.
said that anger is a reaction to things that are unjust, which I thought was an interesting thing about that.
I have
And that's
my
kind of what
grief
you're saying.
book. I have my grief workbook on that my therapist sent me, and I don't know
Mhm.
if it's the same one that you're using, but I let my aunt borrow it when my uncle died. She's got it, but she's got it in the room. I wanna bring it back over here before you start your thing because I wanted to really use that
Yeah. Yeah,
and see
please,
if
if you have any resources, if anyone really does,
it's
I'm
hard to get those workbooks because when you get those workbooks, you have to be, like, invited into they don't even do them online anymore, but I found some
mm,
of the courses online to go with the workbook that people personally had put out there because I was not going in person anywhere.
yeah. Yeah. Well, so we're gonna try to have to get you to go to Tennessee, I hear, right? That's the goal? Slowly but surely?
Slowly but surely, I don't know.
Sophia?
Florida, I think, Barb knows. Tampa.
Okay.
Barbara.
Alright.
Where am I going next? She'll tell you.
Sophia says, my dad, sorry, my dad taught me to do what works for you and not worry about people reacting to you being different. If we live with a lust for life, as if we're faring better along, as if we're faring better along the way. Yeah, exactly. That's a wonderful lesson. Wonderful thing.
Mm.
Karma Charms Kittens. Hiya, folks. I seldom comment, but want to share that when I'm in a fight flight mode, I channel my inner deer, lol. I step away and shake my entire body to help release the trapped negative energy.
I
I like
love
that.
that. I know, I love that.
That's really good. Just like our
Hey,
body holds so much of stuff, and that's a great, if that helps, that's awesome.
what? I'm looking at Awaken.
Sure. Stasia Flones, at Philosophy thinks it has made a huge
Thank
difference. Loving myself took a long time, but I will never go back. I love that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And that's self-love is so important. Um, self-acceptance, self-love, self-kindness. Yeah. Guilt is
That's
horrible, but it's a good motivator for change.
Sophie always hears me say guilt's a useless emotion. I just don't like that emotion. I'm not saying it's useless. I think, I mean, in my head, but me, I've heard that my whole life. My mom always, even though she'd be the first one to practice it,
Mhm.
she always said it's a useless emotion. It's not going to get you anywhere, and it's not going to take
Yeah.
you back anywhere.
Well, karma charms kittens. Oh my god, the stomach clench is the worst. Talking about anxiety or maybe?
And when, like in the back, like when I think that came up whenever you were talking about going to a restaurant and then having to go outside.
Ah, yeah. Yep. Yep. Those physical symptoms can be
Yeah.
telling, but they're also very uncomfortable at times, definitely. Philosophy, panic attacks are so frightening. They can be, yeah. I've heard it
Mhm.
described in many ways, and one way that I heard about it from someone and had an experience, it's like a wave that comes over you. It's like something that just all of a sudden, and it just kind of happens. Sometimes we're aware, sometimes we're not aware, and we just have to, no matter what,
I
kind of deal with it in the moment.
I literally that first one that I had at Walmart, I couldn't move.
Mhm.
Just couldn't move. My mom, I've seen her have that a few times. I've seen her do that a few times, or her ears will turn blood red, her neck will turn blood red, her face will turn blood red, and we have to go.
Yeah.
Or she'll say, "I'm going to the car, just finish up," or wherever,
Right.
but my gosh, it never happened to me before. And
Mhm.
I'm thinking, if this is how my mom feels every single time, I'm not ever asking her to go in public again because that's horrifying. when Walmart used to be open 24 hours a day, she would wait till 2 o'clock in the morning to go grocery shopping.
That's what they do in Vegas because it's so hot.
She would do it just
Or
to stay
Palm
away from
Springs.
people.
I remember Six was saying that too, right? They go
Yes,
grocery shopping
yes,
like 'cause it's so darn hot.
yeah.
Jimena, that happens to me all the time. I have to make myself do things sometimes. Yep. And I work around my anxiety. That's a tough one. We have a term, if you look it up, it's called behavioral activation, but it's kind of in essence, part of that is just doing and not thinking. It's just like if you have problems with motivation or just getting up and doing it because the anxiety takes a hold, just making it as easy as you can to do something, right? And then just forcing yourself to not even think about it, but just drive that car over to wherever that place is and you do it, you know? Have a minute. Gretchen, have you ever heard of adrenaline fatigue? Like adrenal fatigue? I'm wondering. I've read a lot about like the adrenal exhaustion, adrenal fatigue, adrenaline fatigue. Um, like long term, I'm wondering if you're talking about the fight or flight or if you're talking about long term stress and how that affects things. Um, but yeah,
Oh, y'all are
I'll
welcome. Those were from the channel. Those Marilyn told me how to do it. I found it. There's a
so
secret.
I'll have to maybe get back to you that with Barbara about adrenaline fatigue. But definitely our bodies are not used to adrenaline is a short burst, right? When it's like historically or um, our bodies are trained like if there's a imminent threat, our body pushes out adrenaline so we can react. And then of course cortisol reacts with long-term stress. So um, I imagine that would happen, adrenaline fatigue.
I felt like I don't know if that's what I felt, but like after I stood up and actually for the first time faced someone that I was scared, didn't really want to face, and I was exhausted afterwards to the
Mhm.
point of I felt like I had a hangover.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
know if that's the same
imagining
thing.
like I'm imagining some of that same stuff like you're talking about if it's the most, people under continuously imminent threat, like best I can think of as like soldiers in war. They're constantly having to be hyper vigilant and there's constant threats. And I mean, that's a case and scenario where it's not necessarily, I would think it would be cortisol. I think it would be constantly adrenaline, you
It
know?
is adrenal. It's adrenal insufficiency. Oh, that's wait a minute. That's Addison's. That's yeah. Adrenaline fatigue also is commonly referred to as adrenal fatigue. It's a term sometimes used to describe a collection of symptoms such as fatigue, body aches, nervousness, sleep disturbances, and digestive problems believed to result from chronic stress and the overuse of the adrenal glands.
Mhm. So one of if it's adrenal fatigue, then
With
one of the, yeah.
with the cortisol, with impairing their ability to produce the adequate amounts of cortisol and adrenaline.
Mhm.
Yep.
So and I've read a little bit about that. Adrenaline fatigue can look like if you're wired, they call it wired and tired at night. Like your body,
Hmm.
like you think, oh, I want to go to bed, but your mind is just racing and it's just, which I think
Hmm.
is probably a lot of us feel that way. I don't know. Maybe we're all under a lot of
Always
stress.
me, I
Um,
promise.
philosophy, all of us have issues, but being alone with them, that's bad. Finding that others also experience the same things is so important. I agree with you. Um, just just to have it that you're not to feel so isolated, feeling like there's a community of people that can understand, I think is healing in and of itself in a way.
Yeah. That's why I always say
Agree.
if they show up, I'm gonna show up.
Karma charms kittens. At Tampa Bay, panic attacks caused my mom-in-law to be agoraphobic for over 5 years. It can be crippling. It sure can. I hope you overcome this. She did, but it took lots of work and exercise and HRT. Yeah, that's tough. And I don't think COVID did us any favors with any of this, with the social
Okay.
anxiety and with
I have,
being
you
yeah,
said
go ahead.
that. I have a question for you, Gretchen.
Mhm.
It's kind of weird. This just happened today, in fact. When I left work and I went to my aunt's house, and I fell asleep on her couch for a few hours. So I didn't drive home tired, but then I went and voted and then I come home. Well, I actually stopped at my ex-sister-in-law's house on the way because she had left something in the car and at work. And so my aunt has a vitamin D deficiency and she's only 49. She's younger than me, so I say cousin, but she's 49. I have a vitamin D deficiency. Um, Almost every single resident in my facility has vitamin D deficiencies. And every single person that
Mhm.
has had blood work done lately that I know of is having to take vitamin D supplements. So
Mhm.
somebody and or is having thyroid issues. I want somebody to find and study and tell me where that I can notice these coincidences, and it's not coincidences. I've never known that many people at one time with vitamin D deficiency. So what happened? Was
I
it
have
COVID
that
or
too.
was it?
I have it too.
uh, Yeah,
Um, I had it, let me think. Did I have it before COVID? I think I did. And I live on, supposedly, and you live in Texas, and that's pretty
I mean,
sunny, I would imagine. I live in Southern
I'm
California,
out
that's
in the
pretty
sun
sunny.
all the time.
So it's not for lack of getting in the sun and getting some vitamin D, I think. Um,
The
I
uptake.
really don't know. I mean, I don't know if I can answer that, and nor are you asking me to, but I just, yeah,
I just
I see
noticed
it
it's
too,
another
though. I see it too.
freaky coincidence.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people also that have iron deficiencies.
Yes,
So,
I'm seeing a lot of that. Mhm.
Tampa Bay Man, Karma Charms, agoraphobia and phonophobia, huge anxiety from trauma, going to therapy again finally. Well, good for you, Tampa Bay Man. I hope it helps. Um,
Tampa Bay Man, she's been doing these trauma release exercises.
mhm.
Yeah.
Sophia, if the big farmers market scares you to go to smaller ones and to still get the experience and teach your brain, it's not as bad as it makes it out to be. That's a good point.
Hmm.
Small steps will get you, you know, eventually where you want to go, I believe.
That's the only
Um,
way to do it.
mhm. Karma
Okay,
Charms.
thank you, Sharon. I love you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you. My boys give me crap about going barefoot, and I love to feel the earth beneath. They tease me endlessly about grubby feet, even though, yeah. Well, you know what? I think that they'll probably look back and appreciate that later on. They'll say, "Oh yeah, I remember when mom was in the going barefoot and she just loved the earth beneath her feet." I think, I see more and more though things like grounding and earthing that like I remember when I was a kid that we used to have sandboxes. Now those are
Hey,
a
escaping the
lot.
cultivars.
Yeah. Hi there. Um, a lot of the like sandboxes and things like that are gone now, which is kind of a bummer. I don't see as many kids climbing trees, I think there's a lot of like risk averse
Oh, look.
situations in our
Okay, so
community. Yep.
look at escaping the cultivars. Um. Oh, awakened. Oh yeah. Okay. Escape.
Hmm.
Yeah, I wanted to look at escaping the cultivars that just
Sure.
said that. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, hello. I was diagnosed with a vitamin D deficiency, high Graves, and previous long-term stress.
Hmm.
There's another one. Yeah.
Yep.
So you're not the only one. You're here with friends.
Yeah. Yep.
It's wild.
Awakened. I've been agoraphobic forever. Last 6 years, I've been out of the house total 30 times, taken my kiddo to the airport for work. I've been recording my drive, sharing on YouTube. I've been taking my friends with me. Great. Slow and steady progress. It's all about just, and I think if one pushes themselves too much, it can backfire at times. But some people believe in the idea of what we call flooding is just kind of like taking whatever is trigger like the source of anxiety and just desensitizing you completely, just putting it all at once. I believe in more of that, like Keela was saying, like that slow kind of exposure, and
Yeah, and
you
like
start
getting
to do
thrown over
it
the side of the boat,
incrementally. Yeah.
sink or
Um,
swim. Um, It's a
Yeah,
mineral, I believe, Tampa.
maybe vitamin D isn't a hormone. I thought maybe it.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm gonna check now.
Awakened. It has helped immensely. Plus, keeps me accountable, and I'm raw, so maybe it will help others who struggle see it's possible. Yeah, that's a good point, and thank you for sharing that because um, I think agoraphobia is probably more common than we think for a lot of folks, for a lot of people.
Yes, Miss Smarty, it is. Miss Tampa B. It's
Yeah.
actually it's vitamin D, but it's converted by the liver and kidneys into its active form, calcitrol or calcitrol. And it acts as a hormone that helps regulate calcium and phosphate levels in the body, promoting healthy bone development, immune function, and many other physiological processes. Okay, she's smart.
Awaken
It is also
complacency.
considered, I'm sorry, Coach,
No,
it's
go ahead.
also
Go ahead.
considered a nutrient and a hormone. So
Mhm.
there we go.
Awaken complacency, being willing to find comfort in the yuck, because at least I know the yuck. That's part of my problem. Yeah, and it's um, I think sometimes if it makes sense, being comfortable with being uncomfortable is also important. Like just
Mhm.
knowing that, preparing yourself, like, okay, if I do this, it's going to be uncomfortable, but overall, I think it's going to be worth it for me. There's going to be, and I have to put myself, they always, people would say, right? You can't get growth without some discomfort. Like if you stay in your comfort
Right.
zone, there's going to be no
You're
growth.
never gonna
So,
grow. Yeah.
okay. I had my life and my family's life threatened if I left or used the phone. My mind just freezes thinking about it. Oh man, that seems horrible. I'm sorry.
I love you, Barbara.
At Tampa B, man, we have so awakened. We have so much in common, love. It's crazy to think that there are others. Never would wish that, but it's comforting to know we're not alone. No, no one. I mean, we're not
You're not
alone.
alone.
You are not alone. That's for sure. That is for sure. Awaken, I think the food we have now is a big part of our deficiencies, to be honest. It's not the same as it was a decade ago. You're right. You're
Truth.
definitely, I think so. And you know what? They have even the seeds that grow the crops are different.
Mhm.
And I'm not just talking about genetic engineering or whatever, genetic modification. I think they're, you know, like
Yeah.
the seeds that are part of the plants from, 30, 40 years ago, I think are different. That's what I was.
I agree with you there.
Mhm. Sophia, it's not always a lack of the vitamin, but problem processing it. Sure. Like you have all
Yeah,
the
you have to have
vitamin, but a body
magnesium.
needs a little bit of fat to process it.
You have to have
And
magnesium to process vitamin D.
mhm, and I'll add this on top of it. Like I have part of my autoimmune is that I have that whatever that leaky gut. Like it's my stomach doesn't process things unless
Mhm.
I can repair it. It's not going to absorb as much of what I'm eating, like the nutrients of it. So that could be part of for some people, but you're right. I don't think sometimes our bodies are absorbing what they should. Escaping cultivars. The environment has been so depleted of nutrients that it has affected food and overprocessed food. It's no wonder we aren't able to be healthy. Yeah,
I agree. Hmm.
yeah, that is true. At Karma Charms can. It's like a tongue twister for me, but I like the name. It's a delicate balance. You have to know your adrenaline levels. You need to not be not to be understimulated so you don't crash while figuring out the upper limit. Yeah, it's that balance, like you said. It's that definitely. Got a good point. Awaken.
Okay.
Uh,
Karma's got this song stuck in my head now.
Oh no. Earworm. Earworm. Oh no. Oh no. Oh,
I started listening to it. I was like, okay, wait a minute. Why am I singing this song?
man. Yep. Awakened. Yes, life is going to happen. Why do I stay so miserable one way or the other? Might as well live a little while I can, trying to get there one step after the other. That's all you can do. That's how to do it.
That's one step at a time is how we get anywhere.
Mhm.
So you're doing great.
Yeah. And I've had to focus more myself and being more mindful in the present, which is difficult, but that's helpful, at least for me.
That's
Tampa
what I
Beam.
found. Mhm.
Yeah. I'm just alone with everyone. I'm just alone with everyone I know with it. It's taken as it's taken as I don't want to spend time with people. I do though, and it gives tremendous guilt. Yeah, I can
No
understand that.
guilt. No guilt,
But
Barbara. Mhm.
yeah, and maybe you don't even sometimes we don't want to tell people everything that's going on with us. It's,
Mhm.
boundary that we want to set, and that's okay too.
It
Um,
sure is.
you know. And I guess what they say, right? What other people think of us is none of our business. It's
It's
like
none of our business.
sometimes letting go of that is hard too, though.
But we do
Philosophy.
we can do hard things. Mhm.
Hmm. Gretchen, there are different seeds. We need to buy heirloom seeds. Plants are healthy and stronger too. Yes, true. And I heard something on a side note that there is some, is that by Iceland? There's some like bunker. I don't want to say bunker, it's like conspiracy bunker, but there's like they're keeping like heaven forbid there's some major asteroid, I don't know, something that happens that demolishes most of Earth. They're like preserving some of like the seeds of the crop, like of all the
Oh,
varieties of different things, and they have them stored away in like this safe bunker. I don't remember where it is, but I feel like it's by Iceland. Philosophy. I've seen a meme saying that 50 years ago, over half the food in the supermarket didn't exist, and neither did half diseases. That's probably true. I mean, if
yeah.
I was in the cereal aisle the other day, and holy moly, it's like a whole, like you walk down the
Okay,
whole
it's sugar, but
aisle,
just take sugar and ugh.
and it's like before there was like Cheerios. That's it,
You got
Cheerios.
Cheerios or Raisin Bran?
Right, but just Cheerios. It wasn't like Honey Nut Cheerios, Frosted
No,
Cheerios, Berry Cheerios,
no.
Peanut Butter Cheerios. So many different varieties, and it's not really adding, like you said, much to our health.
Yeah.
Escaping cultiverse. I find it hard to motivate myself to eat well, exercise, deal with my trauma, and try to live life after so many years in the cult. It's a nasty package of poop. Yeah.
But you're
Oh.
here and you're doing that says something.
Hmm.
I'm proud of you for that.
And sometimes, even just if we slow it down and simplify, I find just what I was talking about just now is like just simplifying life and not
Mhm.
making it just having a routine, a simple routine sometimes is just helpful to manage life because it can seem overwhelming also. Like to motivate yourself to get all these things done, just make it as simple as possible, as easy as possible. Philosophy, we have limited what types of plants too. There are hundreds of types of broccoli, but we only grow one. It's bad for us and the planet.
I'm in
Yeah.
trouble then because I eat broccoli all the time. I don't like meat. I like broccoli and all my veggies.
Hmm. Is that it, or we have another one?
I don't know. Red was storing them.
Oh,
I think she got them all.
that is what I need, a routine. I think, yeah. Um, it's interesting how just switching up small things can make a difference. I know when
Yes.
I was in therapy a while back, I said something like I was having, and I still do, have sleep problems with sleep. And she says, "Well, take me through like what you do an hour or two before bed." And I was saying, "Well, like I'll put away the dishes, I'll fold the laundry,
Uh-huh.
I'll like do all this stuff to kind of clear." I'm thinking it's clearing my mind so I can kind of focus and just relax. And she said, "No, if you're gonna do that way before earlier in the day, because that actually activates your doing things still right up to the point that you go to bed." So just even changing that up, small things can be a big help with our lives,
Yeah.
just like having a nighttime routine, having a more like how we enter the day and how we exit the day is
Make
really
your bed.
important.
Make your bed. Make your bed. That's the best one of the best books I have ever read. Like I mean, that make your bed. He was that what's his name? Colonel what? Um
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about, huh?
Colonel. Oh, my book's over there. Um, no, I don't. Colonel who?
What was he a colonel? Yeah. He was in Texas. He's from Texas. Come on, y'all. Come on, Sophie. Sophia, Smarties. The make your bed. You know, when you get up, the first thing you do when he was in the military, he's always told all the
Yeah.
soldiers to make their bed so they had one thing accomplished for the whole entire. I mean, they could feel something accomplished for the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
I know somebody else knows what I'm talking about. Please. Oh gosh, Sophie's leaving us. I love you, Sophie.
Bye. Have a good night or morning. I'm not sure where you are.
She's coming here. Sophie's coming over here.
Okay.
Okay, Hamina, do you know what anybody know what book I'm talking about? It's I don't know if it's a colonel, lieutenant colonel. I mean, he's like okay, well I'm looking it up then.
Swiss cheese brand cousin.
Sophie.
Okay. Well, while you're looking that up,
Oh look, Admiral. Look, there we go.
well,
There
yeah.
it is.
How would I know? I mean, that's great that Awaken knows, but I don't know if I've ever even heard that name.
Yeah, it's when you wake up, the first thing you do, make your bed. You've achieved and accomplished and completed your first task of the day.
Getting out of bed was my first task. That's me, though. That's me some days.
Let me
Like,
see if I can find this.
like getting to the bathroom to brush my teeth might be another one.
See, I'm a colonel and he's an admiral, though, so that's how bad I am. I just remember the book. Googleology.
That's right. You know, and I think we need to, give ourselves more credit also. Like I think we're so indoctrinated or trained to like be so productive and what productivity means. And sometimes it's, it
Make
just
your
means,
bed, little things that can change your life and maybe the world. That's what it's called.
all right.
Great book. He went to University of Texas.
Brush my hair. That's another big one.
You see where this is?
Yeah, your
But
hair is
yeah,
always like mine's always looking like this, and yours is always
I know
looking
your
like
hair's. You got your
that.
hair done. It looks good.
No, well, no. Remember, I said I was gonna. Oh, I don't know if I told you I was gonna go blonde. It turned this
Yeah.
weird. I'm not happy with it, but that's why it's kind of. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. But it's just
Yes,
hair.
Amina, you're right. I always want to be doing more and more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why? What does that get us? I don't know. Does it make us feel
More
good?
stress, more stress, to me, more stress. I mean, I don't know. Okay, I see what Karma's saying.
Yeah. But also just healthy to
Yeah.
function that day. I was scrolling through, of course, mindlessly YouTube shorts, but I saw one that said it was like the mother's perspective and it said, I did nothing today, but why am I so exhausted? And then the infant's pictures down below, and it says the baby's perspective is, you gave me nurturance, you fed me, you
Right.
changed me, you took good care of me, you gave me a bath. Like all these things that were tangible or even intangible that the mom provided for the baby. And it was like,
Yeah.
you did do a lot actually. And even if you didn't, you were there present for your kid, which is enough, you know?
Yeah. That's definitely because that's unfortunately kind of rare lately too.
Hamster in the wheel that goes nonstop, then flings itself off into space.
I
I like that. It
love
never
it. Oh
rests.
my
Even
gosh.
my kicking back has to be productive somehow. Oh my gosh. Yep. Other than that, when I allow myself chats, which helps so much, so productive as well. Yeah, I mean, when's the last time we all just sat in a quiet room for 5 minutes with nothing? Think about that. Like, you're not even doing just sitting with your thoughts. I mean, I don't know. That's invaluable, but we don't do it. Just having just
I probably do
again,
it
maybe
too
that's
much. Okay.
you do? Are you on your
I think
phone
I do
though?
it too much because I'm here by
I'm
myself all day.
I'm
So
talking
I
no music,
no
no phone,
no
no
phone, no
screen.
anything. Yeah, I do it a lot.
Are you doing anything though during that time?
Nope, I will just come in here with nothing on. Like,
Yeah.
no screens on, leave my phones in there, the dog's in there. That's the only people home with me at night. I mean, the end of the day. And then I will come in here and I will just sit, and I will think I'm absolutely losing my mind, but I will just sit and I just
Oh, that's
breathe.
good.
So
I like
that
that
I've actually, and it's my blood pressure has went from there to there.
because you can control that. I mean, that's what is
But
amazing too when we think
now
about it.
my legs are not too pretty tonight, but I can't hardly walk on them. But my blood pressure and my heart rate. But I do a lot of that. Like, I'll just sit in the living room and just sit there.
Yeah.
No TV on, nobody's home. I swear if somebody walks in, they're gonna think I'm like a need to go be locked up.
See, that's the problem, right?
I just sitting there
Um,
watching no TV on, you know.
and I might again, we're not getting political here, but someone I was talking to someone another time and talking about like the vice presidential candidate for Harris is Waltz, right? And he's from Minnesota, I believe, but he's smiling all the time. I mean,
Mhm.
and one could say, okay, that's for the cameras or whatever. But let's say he is truly that happy, and I was talking to this person, and they go, "What's wrong with him? He's always so happy." And I said, "Well, if that's true, if he's really that happy," I said, "What's wrong with us that we think being that happy is bad? What's
Bad,
wrong with him?"
yes.
Like anyone, right? Not just him, but like anyone that you see, and it's like, oh, they're happy. Okay, maybe they can't be happy all the time, but it's
No, but I
still like,
saw a TikTok and or maybe it was a Facebook short. I don't know, one or the other, but anyway, people were watching it over and over because they were truly this person was truly laughing so hard.
yeah,
And they said they were like, we were I forgot how many views it's gotten, but it's just true laughter. I
mhm,
mean, in their I can't even remember because it's a short-term memory because I just saw it earlier. But
yeah.
I sat there and watched it, I don't know how many times just because it was true, and I read, like, all 2,000 comments of everybody saying how much they enjoyed that because it just made them relax and laugh.
Yeah.
It was just a true joy, you know?
So that is a nice segue, and I have to jump off. I appreciate you all,
Yeah,
being
I'm
kind to
gonna
me while I've
go,
been
we
on
need
here.
to go.
But tomorrow we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna
Oh
have
gosh, yes.
some fun, and I'm thinking around 6 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock your time, nighttime,
Wonderful.
Friday night. I
Oh,
mean,
yes, Tamina, please, like, wait, y'all, no one in here ever has to ask. Please,
yeah,
if you have a channel, post your stuff. We
yeah,
support all channels.
yes, please. So
Please.
yeah, Hamina has a great channel. I listened to some of her meditation music the other night, and it was
I did too.
great. It was awesome.
Mhm.
But tomorrow night, check it out. We're just gonna be silly. We're just gonna have fun.
Y'all are gonna Sophia, you got to
Bye,
come, you're gonna
Sophia.
love it. I know you're gonna have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, but you're gonna I'm telling y'all, y'all are gonna love this.
I mean, maybe we're like promoting it, kind of boosting up too much, but maybe it's because we're so excited about it. Maybe everyone else is gonna be like, this is kind of lame, but who knows? I know
When is their
they like
live
our fun.
tomorrow?
They
We
like
don't
our
wanna
fun.
interfere with theirs.
Oh yeah. So tell us when you're doing yours. We'll do it
Amanda,
another
when
time.
is yours?
If yours is conflicting, we'll do it a different time.
Yeah. We don't wanna conflict with yours because y'all have had this planned.
Yeah.
Thank you, Escape, please come back. You would definitely wanna come back tomorrow if you want some laughs.
um, there it
What
is. Okay.
time is it, Hamina? 6
6 was it
Central. Okay, so
Central.
will you be through by 8 Central? Do you think or no?
Or we could push it out. We could push it out.
Push it. I mean, I could push it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we can do like 8:30 Central or 9. Okay. Is this a
Well,
surprise thing tomorrow? It kinda has been a work in progress, Karma Charm Kittens. Um, we talked about a long time ago.
yes, we will be done, Hamina said.
Okay. So we'll be doing something just kind of fun. It was something regarding
If you know, you
Keela,
know.
yeah, Keela had a well, it's coming out of something kind of serious, but Keela had a surgery in January, and so
I
somehow we
can
got
imagine.
talking about it, and she had something. It's related to that. It's related to the what you could say outfit that she had to wear in the hospital, and I don't even remember. Was it for circulation or something?
It gave me warm air in it.
Okay.
They've
Well,
hooked
mine
a
will
hose
not
up
have
to
warm
it.
air. It's just going to be blown up, but we'll see.
The bear whatever it is, the bear BEAR gown, the purple gown that you wear before surgery, and they hook the hose up to it.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah, Sophia said, "Would it happen to involve some purple?" Yes,
yeah,
it will.
it does.
If you know, you know.
Oh my gosh. And by the way, I have the gloves and there's like a hat that goes on. It's a whole thing. I don't know
Mine's
how much
right
I'm
here.
gonna.
I just hope my fan
I
works.
need to do a test run tonight. So
I'm
anyway,
gonna do it
I'll
too
send
because
you
I
a
need.
picture. Um,
Look, I am too, and if my fan doesn't work, I'm gonna be so mad.
all right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna jump off, but
Yeah, I'm
nice
gonna
to
go
see
too.
you, everybody, and thank you for coming in and staying with us here.
Yeah, Red,
And
thank
talking
you for
about some.
everything backstage.
Thank you, Red, and thank you for staying in there with some, you know, giving each other support. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah,
All
we have
right.
an absolute amazing. Oh, Hamina, yeah, she's amazing. She's just I love, yeah, she knows.
Yeah.
But y'all, we'll be back here then. I'm gonna make the thumbnail. I can't wait to do that.
So tomorrow evening,
Uh,
then. Tomorrow
yep,
evening,
tomorrow it
nighttime.
will be 8 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Pacific,
Hmm.
and then six
All
o'clock
right.
Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. Love you,
Okay.
Hamina.
All right.
And
Take care,
Barbara,
everybody.
love you. And y'all, please come tomorrow and see us. And thank you, mods, for everything. And I am going to try to get us off here now. But
All right.
in Red, thank you so much.
Bye bye.
We will see y'all tomorrow. Let's me go.